Yo.
Yo, what's up?
Now I can finally talk about what I believe is the peak, the pinnacle of Smiling Friends content. The best episode that has been made so far. Let me introduce to you one and all, Brother's Egg. Oh yeah, I forgot this episode starts with a documentary about two heavy-set men that are brothers fighting over ham. They are also sweaty. This is apparently what documentaries are like in the Smiling Friends universe, and I think that's really cool. I absolutely love the absurdity of what a documentary is. And they're just bullying Alan. It really showcases Charlie's character to not really care about anyone but himself and his own motivations. Oh, yeah, it's this part. It's the Jared Fogle.
I just got a really exciting job for y'all.
Awesome, man.
cool.
Yeah, what is it?
You two now have the privilege of helping the one, the only, Jared Fogle!
I mean, it is funny that they set up the established rule in the first episode that they cannot deny people's request to actually do a joke about it. Or to put up, I don't know, a joke about the stakes of how bad it could be. And I like that they come right out. They're not even, I mean, it is a joke, but it's not presented as much of a joke as it is like an actual condemning of Jared Fogle, and I'm glad this show actually says fuck that guy, because someone has to. I mean, people make fun of him, but someone's got to put him in place. The boss can just change his face into a dog, and that shit is funny because Charlie thinks it's funny. But yes, we are getting to the best part of the episode. We are getting to the mad scientist himself. Oh, his name's Professor Psychotic. I couldn't recall. Man, when I watch this episode, my face just lights up like I'm a kid watching a cartoon for the first time. The lighting's good here. It's amazing. It's got a reference to a fake video, I believe, of a guy creating a homunculus, or trying to create a homunculus, or create life. I don't know. It was a hoax of injecting life into an egg or something. Or just injecting life into something and then smashing it with a book. But I guess it's a fake video, unfortunately. But they turned it into a real concept where this guy's entire passion project is that. But yeah, it's cool where they turned the entire premise of an episode into a scientist that wants to create life from an egg. And he originally calls upon the Smiling Friends for the sole purpose of being assistants. And then here we go. Joel Haver. All we hear is injecting DNA into an egg. Yeah, that's what you do. You waste time. You do stupid shit all the time. Care about something better. I mean, this man just has a breakdown. I don't know what to say.
The hard economy out there,
So
right
hard economy. How about the economy of my patience? It's running thin, buddy. Paper thin like these walls.
Like, when I watch this episode and I watch this argument happen, I am in the same situation as Pim and Charlie. My mouth is agape. I'm watching a dude panic as he's running barefoot in his lab coat. Which, every time I watch this episode, I literally have to mention that his design feels very much of a parody of Rick from Rick and Morty. So it feels like a commentary of, hey, we're on the same network. Let's make fun of the show that, I don't know if it wants to be deep or it shies away from being deep or whatever it is. Like, I do like when the show likes to take a stab at shooting down the cynicism. Where it's like, hey, you don't have to be educational, you don't have to be only wholesome, but you can still talk about good things or talk about or spread positivity while not ignoring the negatives, but not solely leaning into it or using it as a crutch or anything like that. So Charlie and Pim don't want Professor Psychotic to hear what they're going to say about him after witnessing his brothers crash out. So they switch to Spanish mode. They just have a conversation in Spanish. And I love that he understands them because he took Spanish in high school or something like that. I took Spanish in high school. I took it 2 years. I mean, I probably understand some Spanish. I have not fully tested my knowledge or capability of understanding or speaking it. So I don't really know where my proficiency in Spanish lays, but I don't know. I was going to say I don't think I understand it much. I probably don't, but I was going to say I don't understand it at all, and I don't think that's really true. But I definitely didn't really learn anything from high school Spanish 2. Spanish 1 probably taught me some things, but Spanish 2 I was checked out. I barely passed. I just passed by doing extra credit only. That's a true story. I love what this episode has to say about sibling relationships. I think it tackles it in the best way possible. I always forget what this is based on. The whole, I don't know what this is, flying fish place, but I think I saw that it was, because it feels kind of based on like Korean barbecue to a degree, of where you gotta, I don't know, like you're catching your own food and eating it. So it's kind of giving sushi, but kind of Korean barbecue, or those places where you cook the food yourself. But at the same time, discarding the trash on the floor. I forgot if it was Texas Roadhouse or something like that. It was some place where you get peanuts or something, and there's peanut trash everywhere. That's what I read. But yeah, this is the part where Professor Psychotic shows his rizzing up skills.
Hello, I am Professor Psychotic. I'm making an egg with my DNA in my evil laboratory.
Excuse me. I just want to reflect a little and think about what I actually like about in this episode, which is that, as always, it is a hilarious episode. It is a great premise. What sets this episode apart is they have a guest star or a guest creator. It's really interesting because Joel Haver does these comedy animation videos where people give him the AI claims. I'm not touching this whole debate about what becomes AI and what's art and all that, because he does do the drawings, but then it's like a auto correction thing that holds it in place. So it's much more like a Photoshop kind of deal. At least that's my understanding of it. You can literally look up his technique. He did a whole video documenting it so people could see how it worked. So it's up to you to decide whether you're with that style or not, because it does auto track or something. I don't really understand it, but he makes great quality content. As a guest star, he works really well in implementing his own style that he does. And it's interesting that they just build him into the world. It's not like, I'm here, so let's stop everything to pay attention to the guest star, which I can blame a lot of shows for that. Looking at you, Simpsons. I think Family Guy does it even worse. Like recently where they had Kevin James, but it's not even Kevin James. Yeah, like that's not fun. Although at least Family Guy did have moments where they would get the real actors to portray their characters for bits, like How I Met Your Mother and Scooby-Doo and stuff like that. So that's cool. I ought to knock your block off, you little freak. That might have been a good take, actually. Yeah, we find out through this monologue that, what are their names? Doug and Daniel? Something like that. Yeah, Daniel's Professor Psychotic, but we find out that these brothers have lost their mother, who looks to be of Spamtopian descent or origin. And so they might be half Spamtopian or something like that. Oh, no, we're at the best part.
Matthew! No! No, this can't be happening! My brother! No! And yeah, we was having a little bit of brotherly drama, but I see how little that matters now. And I never told him how much I damn love him. I freaking love you, man!
I love Mark M's portrayals. I love his voice acting so much. I'm just looking at the frame with the horrible handshake. It's killing me. Oh, but I was saying they must be half Spamtobian or something, because even Professor Psychotic, aka Daniel, seems to be half rotoscoped, or whatever method it is that Joel Haver does. It's in the exact same style when they beat the shit out of each other. And it's just funny. It's just funny. They stage an intervention, then they share their feelings, get angry, and start fighting because they blame each other for their problems.
Yeah? Well, maybe if you weren't high 24/7, you could have been there for Mother when she died.
I'm gonna kick your fucking ass, man!
Both their individual as well as their problems with each other, the problems they exist in together. I mean, Professor Psychotic being barefoot all the time is disgusting, and that handshake is gross, and no, I just keep coming back to, I love this episode's theming of siblings, and just how little the problems can be, even if they're big problems. Like, that's the whole point with the Goblin monologue, is like, yeah, they were beefing, but I mean, they're brothers and they love each other. And that just happens in sibling bonds. Sometimes you can squabble, sometimes things just don't go well, but you're there together for each other through the thick and thin, you know? And if you can just, hash it out, work it out, then it can be beautiful. I'm not saying everyone has to follow that, but I think that's what this episode gives a glimpse at, is that everyone has their problems, and you just gotta push through it and work through it, but you can find something very beautiful. And I like that. I like that sentiment from this show, that they put in the work as hard as it was. It skims it in a really short time frame of 10 minutes, but I don't know if this is what we should be looking towards as a guide to life, but it's just like, you take the moral of this and it's a pretty good time. I like that it's funny, I like that it has an actual meaningful message, and I guess it's relatable to those who have siblings who've had their shares of problems, because it's just a widely relatable theme. And I fuck with that heavy. So, round of applause for this episode. You know where it's going. I'm not even done talking about it. I also appreciate that it feels like they kind of very loosely do the like old school versus new school kind of ideology, where Professor Psychotic is unemployed, holds himself up in his room, wasting away at trying to create science, and only when he is successful is he redeemed and beloved. But then there's Joel Haver that just does construction, and I don't know, it feels like he is a certain archetype of something, where he's the responsible sibling. Oh yeah, and how he hand writes his letter, Joel Haver, but Daniel reads his response on his phone, and I'm watching the fight. I'm watching it. This is the best part of the episode, where they fight. It's just choreographed really well, and it looks really bizarre, but also interesting. It is visually the coolest thing that I think the show has done. Yeah, because when they're not fighting, then Professor Psychotic is just regularly animated 2D style. But when they're fighting, then he's in the rotoscope. And yeah, he did it. After injecting so many eggs with his DNA, he created a homunculus. And now they have to put aside their differences and raise the homunculus together as brothers. And now they've solved their generational trauma by raising that homunculus better than they were raised. And it is now that Doug praises Daniel's genius. And I do love that moment, actually. Oh, Yeah, the episode ends with Charlie saying that he can't take the craziness of the world they live in anymore. And that's just a line. That's just a line that feels applicable for a lot of people living in our current crazy world. But yes, that was the wonderfully beautiful Brother's Egg. It just encapsulates everything I love about this show, is that it can say something meaningful while also being hilarious, well written, well structured, and beautifully animated. And it had a fight sequence in it, which also resolved beautifully. So I just love Brother's Egg so much. I don't want to move on from it. I feel like there's more I gotta say, but I think I can only praise it into its entirety. Please tag whoever has Professor Psychotic levels of Riz. I'm gonna get tagged on this so bad if people actually listen to that instruction.
That was too far, man. Jared Fogle is a genuine fucking menace. Absolutely not. I did not like that.
Yeah, he's a pedophile.
Oh, come on, guys. It was funny. The costume, come on.
No, it wasn't. No, it was not, dude. I did not find that funny. I have a line with that kind of stuff. I don't find that stuff funny. No.